body
Blood
sugar
sugar
level,
level maintenance.
blood sugar level.
Yes, yes, right, right.
Secrete globulins.
Yes. Pancreatic enzymes. These are the pancreatic
Help in
enzymes.
digestion, pancreatic
Yes,
juice.
yes. Any other? Any other functions of pancreas? Do you know what are the diseases related with
Yes,
pancreas?
ma'am. Tumors of the
Yes,
pancreatitis,
yes, pancreatitis, acute pancreatitis.
and then tumor, this, and
Yes, yes,
tumors,
yes.
tum-
Then
Pancreatic cancer.
pancreatic cancer, right?
Yes. Then
So others, they are all surgical diseases. They are included in your surgery. But today we are going to discuss about the inflammatory condition of pancreas. Okay, that is pancreatitis. It is nothing but the pancreatitis, the causes, etiopathogenesis. Okay, so we will go towards our topic, that is pancreatitis. Okay, acute pancreatitis. Here you can see the inflamed pancreas. Okay, this is the duodenum. This is the duodenum. Okay, and here you can see the obstruction, gallstone blocking the common bile duct. Okay, after that pancreatic duct has joined. Okay, this area, at this particular area. So naturally there is blockage, due to blockage of, or due to pancreatic duct obstruction, this pathology is aroused. Okay, it is one of the cause of acute pancreatitis, that is pancreatic duct obstruction. And here you can see this gallstones blocking this pancreatic duct, and which causes the pancreatitis. Here you can see the inflammation. Okay, so acute pancreatitis, again this is again the normal functions. This is the digestive enzymes. These are the acinar cells. All of you know the acinar cells. All of you know the
yes,
acinar
ma'am.
cells, that is the
Yes,
pancreatic enzymes. They are present in this acinar cells. Okay, which is always present in the proenzyme form. Okay, so this enzymes drain into the small intestine. This is small intestine. Okay, this is pancreas, and these enzymes, they drain into the small intestine. It is the normal structure of this pancreas. Okay, anatomy and normal physiology. Okay, now we will go towards what is abnormal happens with the pancreas. So acute pancreatitis is a group of reversible lesions. It is reversible when it is acute. Okay, whenever it is acute, it is reversible. It is a group of reversible lesions characterized by infections of pancreas ranging in severity, that is from edema and fat necrosis up to parenchymal necrosis. Edema and fat necrosis up to parenchymal necrosis with severe hemorrhage. It is the ultimate complication of this acute pancreatitis, that is it may ends with the severe hemorrhage. Okay, and later on there is shock. Due to severe hemorrhage there will be shock. So it is a group of reversible lesions characterized by infections of pancreas ranging severity, that is just edema and fat necrosis up to parenchymal necrosis. That is the reversible changes, they are up to edema and fat necrosis. Okay, but whenever there is parenchymal necrosis and severe hemorrhage occurs, there will be no recovery or no reversible condition. Okay, now we will look for the etiological factors of acute pancreatitis. Now these etiological factors, they are divided into 4 groups. That is metabolic causes, mechanical causes, vascular causes and infectious causes. Okay, so these causes, they are divided into metabolic causes, mechanical causes, vascular causes, and the infectious causes, that is infections. Now, what are the metabolic causes? Alcoholism, hyperlipoproteinemia, hyperlipidemia also, then hypercalcemia. Drugs, various drugs can cause pancreatitis and genetic cause. Okay, these are all metabolic causes of acute pancreatitis. Alcoholism is at the first rank. It is very, very important factor behind acute pancreatitis. And in our country, it is a very common one. Then hyperlipoproteinemia, hypercalcemia, drugs, various drugs like NSAIDs or anti-cancerous drugs or anti-tubercular drugs may cause acute pancreatitis and the genetic cause. Okay. The next group is mechanical cause, in which there is trauma, direct trauma to the pancreas, then obstruction due to gallstones or due to some tumors in the intestinal tract, and perioperative injury. During operation, if there is injury to the pancreas, then this will included in the mechanical cause. Now, vascular conditions, vascular etiology, that is related with shock, then atherosclerosis with embolism, then polyarteritis nodosa, it is an autoimmune disease. Okay, so they are included in the vascular causes: shock, atheroembolism, polyarteritis nodosa. And various infections, viral infections, bacterial infections like mumps, then coccidiovirus and mycoplasma pneumonia. Okay, so these are the infectives or pathogens which causes acute pancreatitis. In that, viral pancreatitis is very, very common one. That is after mumps or after measles, this pancreatitis is very, very common, especially in the small children's, and coccidiovirus, mycoplasma pneumonia. These are the viruses and bacteria which take part in the acute pancreatitis. So the causes, they are divided into 4 sections, like metabolic conditions, then mechanical conditions, vascular conditions, and infectious conditions. So etiology is very, very important for this pancreatitis. See, heavy alcohol, then obstructive conditions, and the other conditions. Okay, direct trauma or any drugs, that is abdominal trauma, then medications, infections, tumors, genetic anatomical variations or variants, high triglyceride level, that is what we call it as, yes, whenever there is high triglyceride level, we call it as, yes, what is the name for that? Yes,
Fatty,
high triglyceride level.
fatty liver,
No, no. What is the condition we call it as whenever there is high triglycerides and high this lipids, hyperlipidemia, also we call it as hyperlipidemia, and high triglyceride levels, high calcium levels, that is hypercalcemia. Okay, so these are the causes of acute pancreatitis, in which this heavy alcohol use, it is 40%. Okay, it is very, very common in our country, and you do the same with gallstones. Okay, now pathogenesis of acute pancreatitis. Okay, so in pathogenesis, there are 3 factors related with this in pathogenesis, that is The first one is pancreatic duct obstruction. Then acinar cell injuries. Here, this acinar cells, they get injured. Here, this we have seen in the first figure that how this gallstones, they get obstructed at the ampulla of Vector, and they causes inflammation of pancreas, inflammatory pathology in the pancreas. And third is defective intracellular transport of proenzymes within the acinar cells. These are the three conditions related with the pathogenesis that we are going to discuss in detail. Okay, so pancreatic duct obstruction, it gives rise to edema, compression of blood vessels, which gives rise to ischemia, and which leads into acinar cell injuries. Acinar cell injury, that is due to acinar cell injuries. How acinar cell injury causes? Releases of pancreatic lysosomal enzymes. There is activation of enzymes and autodigestion of pancreas. Third is defective intracellular transport of proenzyme that we are going to discuss later on. Okay, now in detail we will discuss about the pathogenesis. Now the anatomical changes of acute pancreatitis, it strongly suggests the autodigestion of pancreatic substance. Here this word autodigestion is very, very important. Okay, autodigestion of pancreatic substance by the enzymes itself due to increase in the activation of this pancreatic enzyme. Hyperactive pancreatic enzymes, they leads into autodigestion of pancreatic substances. These pancreatic enzymes, they are present in acinar cells in proenzyme form and have activated to fulfill their enzymatic potential. Why they get activated? They get activated to fulfill their enzymatic potential. That is, one of them is trypsin. When it is generated, it causes disintegration of fat cells and damage the elastic fibers of blood vessels. Whenever there is enormous stimulation of this trypsin, it is injurious. It causes autodigestion. It causes disintegration, degradation of fat cells, and it damages the elastic fibers of the blood vessels. So both way the pancreas get damaged, that is the cellular level, and the circulatory, that is the suppliers of pancreas also shows the damage with damage of the elastic fibers. Now the causes of pancreatic enzymic activation. The one is pancreatic duct obstruction, just we have seen in that diagram. Now we are going to discuss it in detail. Pancreatic duct obstruction. Then second one is primary acinar cell injury, defective intracellular transport of proenzyme within the acinar cell. Now first thing, that is pancreatic duct obstruction. Now what happens? What are the other conditions of pancreatic duct obstruction? Due to the impaction of gallstone, or in the region, that is gallstones, they commonly get lodged or get impacted in the ampulla of Vector. Whenever this gallstones, they get impacted in this ampulla of Vector, there rises intrapancreatic ductal pressure. Okay, there is rise in the intrapancreatic ductal pressure. This blockage causes accumulation of enzyme-rich intestinal fluid like trypsin. This blockage of this due to this gallstones, they causes accumulation of enzyme-rich intestinal fluid. Now, in that, the lipase is most activated enzyme. This lipase is a most activated enzyme. It causes local fat necrosis. Okay, this lipase causes local fat necrosis. Now, this necrosis means injury to the cell, no? Necrosis means there is injury to the cells of pancreas. So injured tissues, what is the mechanism of our body? They releases the cytokines. that is inflammatory mediators, cytokines. Then TNF, tissue necrotizing factor. Then PAF, that is phospholipid activator or platelet activating factor. Okay. Then this, whenever there is release of this particular inflammatory mediators, they initiates the local inflammation. This due to release of this inflammatory mediators like cytokines, TNF and PAF, they initiates the local inflammation and interstitial edema. So it causes interstitial edema and inflammation. Okay. Now what will going to happen with this edema? This edema, it reduces the blood flow. It pressurizes the vessels, blood vessels, suppliers of the pancreas, and they causes the decrease in the blood flow, causing vascular insufficiency. It will lead into vascular insufficiency and ischemic injury to the acinar cells. Understood? See, this pancreatic duct obstruction, this gallstone impaction, that is bile, pancreatic juice, is that is exclusion from the gut, and the mechanical duct obstruction. It will lead into this decrease in the juice and there is mechanical duct obstruction. Now it will lead into this pancreatic juice. It will leads into acinar cell hyperstimulation and acinar cell secretory block due to this edema. It will increases the acinar cell stress and acinar cell MAP kinase activation. Again, it is an inflammatory mediator. This will give rise to release of this MAP kinase activation. Acinar cell, that is tissue necrotizing alpha tissue necrotizing factor, and interleukin 1B production, that is a cytokine. Okay, and it will lead into acute pancreatic inflammation. Pancreatic duct obstruction will lead into acute pancreatic inflammation. Is there is any query with this part? Pancreatic duct obstruction? Yes?
No, ma'am.
Do you want to repeat?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay. So what happens? There is first obstruction mainly due to, there may be tumors also, but mainly 40% of cases the obstruction is due to gallstones. So what will going to happen? This gallstone rises intrapancreatic ductal pressure. Okay, there rises intrapancreatic ductal pressure. This causes accumulation of enzyme rich intestinal fluid. And in this enzymes, the lipase is most activated enzyme. It causes local fat necrosis. Okay, so these injured cells, they start releasing the inflammatory mediators. Okay, or there is chemotaxis, releases the mediators like cytokines, interleukin 1B, then tissue necrotizing factor, platelet activating factor. So they causes the local inflammation. They initiates the local inflammation and interstitial edema. And this will causes later on the ischemic injuries. That is this edema, it reduces the blood flow, causing vascular insufficiency, and there is ischemic injury to the acinar cells. Okay, so this is one way of this why this pancreatic cells they get activated. Okay, these are the causes of pancreatic enzymes activation. The first one is pancreatic duct obstruction, then acinar cell injuries, and thirdly defective intracellular transport of proenzyme within the acinar cells. So these are the conditions. Now the second one is acinar cell injury. Okay, so here you are looking that there is normal acini. Okay, now because of obstruction there is protein rich plug appear in the duct. Anything which causes obstruction to the acinar duct. Okay, this ductus and acini become dilated due to this blockage of this particular protein-rich fluid inside the acina. So there is dilatation. It become dilated behind the obstructing protein. Okay. So this obstruction is duct epithelium necrotic at the site of obstruction. There is necrosis appears at the site of obstruction. Here necrotic changes. Now there is histological change, that is epithelium of acini, they become low cuboidal. So they become flattened. They become, that is low cuboidal, that is they become square-like or more flattened cells. Here epithelium degenerates and disappears. Epithelium of acinar epithelium degeneration starts with disappearance, and this acini eventually get atrophied and they become collapse. Okay, and this will furthermore gives rise to fibrosis. Okay, around that acini there is round cell infiltration appears around the degenerating glandular units, and it will go into the fibrotic lesions. Okay, glandular tissue is replaced by fibrosis. Okay, understanding? So primary acinar cell injury is due to some, again, it may be the virus, that is viruses. Okay, due to some viruses or drugs, they causes direct trauma to the pancreatic by activation of enzymes, causes acinar cell injury. Other causes, the one cause of acinar cell injury is impaction. Okay, it is due to impaction of gallstones or any inflammatory material. This inflammatory material, it may be of the clump of organisms with the other inflammatory cell. It may be a lump. Okay, so the obstruction mainly, it gives rise to destruction of the pancreatic epithelium, and it will lead into the fibrotic changes. Okay, so the one cause of acinar cell injury is impaction due to some obstruction. It may be due to some viruses, that is inflammatory reaction of viruses, or due to direct trauma due to some drug, and the toxoids. Okay, so this is all about of acinar cell injury, pathogenesis of acinar cell injury, how acini they get destroyed. So this impaction will give rise to dilatation, and it will leads into the necrotic changes, degenerative changes of the acinar epithelium. There may be atrophy of acini later on, and there is collapse of acini. Later on, it get recovered with the fibrotic granulation. Okay, so this is all about of acinar cell injury. Then what was the third point? That is defective intracellular transport of proenzymes within acinar cells. Defective intracellular transport of proenzymes within the acinar cells. So the causes, they are metabolic injury. Causes behind this defective transport is metabolic injury. It may be alcohol, or it may be due to duct obstruction. So there are three conditions behind this defective transport of proenzyme, that is metabolic injury. It may be due to alcohol or due to duct obstruction. It will cause us delivery of proenzymes to the lysosomal compartment. This three things, that is due to some metabolic injuries, due to directly alcohol or duct obstruction, it causes delivery of proenzymes to the lysosomal compartment. So here there is intracellular activation of enzymes. Again, it will lead into whenever this flow of these enzymes, they uh, directed towards the defective compartment, that is the lysosomal compartment. There is intracellular activation of enzymes, and it again causes acinar cell injury. So the ultimately it will lead into acinar cell injury. Pancreatic duct obstruction ultimately lead into acinar cell injury. Okay, so there is the this acinar cell injury is the main part related with this acute pancreatitis, and it happens due to activated enzymes. Okay, so these are all changes, they are related with activated enzymes. Now here there are three things we discussed just now, that is ductal obstruction, then acinar cell injury, and defective transport. Okay, so here we discussed about this ductal obstruction. Here the duct get obstruct, that is cholelithiasis we call it as, due to this gallstones. We call this condition as cholelithiasis. Okay, so it will lead into ampullary obstruction. Again, chronic alcoholism, it will give rise to ductal concretions. There is mechanisms by interstitial edema, impaired blood flow, ischemia. It will lead into acinar cell injury. Okay. Now here, alcohol, drugs, trauma, ischemia, or viruses. Viruses like mumps, measles. Okay. There is release of intracellular proenzyme and lysosomal hydrolysis. There is activation of enzymes, intra or extracellular, leads into acinar cell injury. And defective transport, that is metabolic injury, alcohol or duct obstruction, delivered the proenzymes to the lysosomal compartment and will lead into intracellular activation of enzymes causing acinar cell injury. Okay. Now this acinar cell injury, it will leads into activated enzymes. Okay. Activated enzymes. Now what are the lesions they get formed? The first is interstitial inflammation with edema, then proteolysis, fat necrosis, and hemorrhage. Okay, so this all four lesions will causes, togetherly we call it as acute pancreatitis. That is interstitial inflammation, edema, proteolysis, fat necrosis, and hemorrhage. Togetherly, we call it as acute pancreatitis. So this is all about of pathogenesis of acute pancreatitis. Okay. Is there is any query related to this part? Yes.
No, ma'am.
Everybody is
No,
there?
ma'am. No.
Okay. Just we revise our etiology of pancreatitis. Yes. Please raise your hands. Then I will ask you.
डिफेक्टिव्ह इंट्रासेल्युलर ट्रान्सपोर्ट एकदा सांगा.
Defective intracellular transport. See the causes of this defective intracellular transport. It is metabolic injury. Now what are the metabolic causes? We discussed, no? It may be alcoholism, it may be hyperlipoproteinemia, it may be hypercalcemia, it may be drugs, or it may be genetic factor. Okay. And then separately they are giving alcohol and duct obstruction. Okay. It will leads into delivery of proenzyme to the lysosomal compartment. So these enzymes, proenzymes, they deliver to the lysosomal compartment. See, here the lysosomes, and this delivery of these enzymes towards the lysosomal compartment. So there is intracellular activation of enzymes. It will lead into enzymes, that is lysosome will get releases. Okay. This is again the enzyme which is mucolytic enzyme. Understanding, no?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So this release of this enzymes activation this activation of these enzymes will lead into acinar cell injury ultimately. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So this acinar cell injury, later on it causes again activation of enzymes. and these lesions will get formed in the pancreas, 4 lesions. Okay, so again we will discuss about the etiology. Yes, who want to tell the etiology? 4 types. Yes. Yes, etiology.
Metabolic, mechanical, vascular, and infectious.
Yes,
There are
metabolic,
4 types
mechanical, vascular, and infections. What are the
of
mechanical?
infectious.
Mechanical causes? Yes.
Mechanical causes are trauma, intestinal trauma,
Hmm. Yes, then?
uh, shock, intestinal trauma,
No, not shock. It comes under other group, no, group of causes.
vascular.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
ma'am.
Mechanical. I'm asking mechanical. You're telling me mechanical, no? So trauma,
Yes.
then during operation,
Hi,
perioperative
preoperative
injury,
injury,
and gallstones. That is the
gallstone.
obstructive condition. Okay. So these are the mechanical. Now, any other students will tell me what is infectious causes of pancreatitis. What are the infectious conditions of pancreatitis? Yes.
Due to mumps and measles.
Yes. Mumps, measles, Coxsackie virus, and Mycoplasma pneumonia. Okay. So these are the infectious conditions. Then what are the vascular conditions?
Shock.
Shock.
Yes. Yes, Anjali. Yes, Komal. Shock, then
atherosclerosis,
atherosclerosis,
Atherosclerosis.
embolism,
obstruction,
embolism,
vascular obstruction,
yes, and polyarteritis nodosa. It is an autoimmune disorder. Okay, it is an autoimmune disorder which gives rise to pancreatitis. Okay, and metabolic, just we discussed about metabolic conditions.
Alcohol.
Yes, alcohol, then lipidemia,
Hypercalcemia.
hyperlipidemia,
hyperlipidemia,
yes,
Lipidemia.
hypercalcemia, then हो लाईट गेले. Could you able to hear me? Yes.
yes,
Yes, students. Okay, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
The light is gone, so my Wi-Fi is not working. Okay. So here acinar cell injuries, then activated enzymes. Okay. The same slide, that is interstitial inflammation is there, edema, proteolysis, fat necrosis, hemorrhage, togetherly we call it as acute pancreatitis. Okay. Now here you can see the enzymes released into duodenum. Here this part is towards stomach, from stomach. Then towards stomach, sorry, this is the pancreas. The enzyme released into the duodenum. See, this enzyme accumulates in the injured acinar cells, which leads into inflamed pancreas. Okay, that is the mechanism of this defective enzyme transport. Okay, see, the normal pancreas Normal pancreas, normal pancreatic duct, gallbladder is also here normal. Everything is normal, normal physiology, normal anatomy of pancreas. Here, in acute pancreatitis, here you can see the inflamed pancreas. Somewhere there is obstruction. In the ampulla factor, you can see the gallstones in the gallbladder. Okay, here are the gallstones in the gallbladder. So gallstones block the pancreatic duct and there is inflammation. In chronic pancreatitis, again gallbladder with stones, gallstones and calcifications in dilated pancreatic duct. Here, the inflamed pancreas. It is a chronic pancreatitis. Okay, it is a picture of that we are going to discuss shortly. Chronic pancreatitis. Now, about chronic pancreatitis, pathophysiology of chronic pancreatitis. The first is ductal obstruction by proteins. Many of the agents are there in chronic pancreatitis, like alcohol increases the protein concentration of pancreatic secretions, and these proteins can cause ductal plugs. Okay, so the proteins, they may be the lump of tissues, inflammatory lump, or this is the due to protein release of proteins. So the lump may be made up of protein. So it will lead, it will goes towards the chronic pancreatitis when this the people, if the person is chronic alcoholic, then it may lead into chronic pancreatitis by increase in the protein concentration of pancreatic secretions. Okay, the second is toxic metabolic pancreatitis. The toxins, that is including alcohol and its metabolites, can exert a direct toxic effect on acinar cells, leading to lipid accumulation. Then acinar cell loss, that is acinar cells, they get retracted. There is loss of acinar cells and eventually parenchymal fibrosis. That slide we have just seen in the previous slides, that there is due to these toxins or metabolites, they exert direct toxic effect on acinar cells, leading into lipid accumulation. Proteinous fluid, they get accumulated. First of all, there is dilatation of acinar cells. Later on, their epithelium get necrosed or inflamed, and eventually it get retracted, and there is fibrosis later on. The third is oxidative stress. Alcohol-induced oxidative stress may generate free radicals in the acinar cells, leading to membrane damage and subsequent expression of chemokines like interleukin 8, that is IL-8, which recruits the inflammatory cells. This oxidative stress also promotes the fusion of lysosomes and zymogen granules, with resulting acinar cell necrosis, inflammation, and fibrosis. The similar chain of reaction occurs. It may be of toxic metabolites, it may be of oxidative stress, or it may be due to inappropriate activation of pancreatic enzymes due to mutations affecting genes mentioned earlier. Okay, so here this is the pathophysiology of chronic pancreatitis. Okay, so it may be due to ductal obstruction by proteins, toxic metabolites, oxidative stress, that is due to free radicals. Okay, alcohol induced oxidative stress, it may generate free radicals in the inflammation in the acinar cells, during inflammation in the acinar cells, leading to membrane damage. Okay, and the fourth cause, it is again related with acute pancreatitis also, that is inappropriate activation of pancreatic enzyme, that is the proenzyme. Mainly it is a proenzyme, that is the trypsin. When it is generated, it can turn activates in other proenzymes. Okay, so male culprit in this is trypsin, which gives rise to the acinar cell injuries. See, these are the complications of chronic pancreatitis. Okay. Here dilated pancreas, the bile duct, you can see here. Then portal vein thrombosis, thrombosis of portal vein. Then intense inflammation of head of the pancreas. Okay. Inflammation of the head of the pancreas. Then obstructed dilated pancreatic duct here. Obstruction may be due to this proteins, or it may be related with the inflammatory lumps, or it may be the gallstones. Okay. Then here you can see the ruptured side branch of the main duct causing pseudocyst of the pancreas. Here this duct get ruptured. Here you can see there is rupture of the side branch of the main duct, pancreatic duct, the side branch of the duct, it get ruptured, and there is formation of the pseudocyst. This is a pseudocyst. Okay. Then pseudoneurism. Pseudoneurism. Here you can see here pseudoneurism, that is the vessels of pancreas, that is supplying vessels of pancreas, again get inflamed and gives the nodular enlargement. Then the next complication is atrophy of pancreatic parenchyma and isolates. Isolates of Langerhans, which gives rise to atrophy. Okay, so atrophy of this parenchyma and the isolates. The next complication is splenic vein thrombosis, thrombosis of the splenic vein. Now, what is the complication later on with this pseudocyst? There may be rupture of this pseudocyst, will give rise to pancreopleural fistula, pancreopleural fistula, or pancreatic ascites. It may relate to pancreatic ascites. This due to release of this fluid present in this pancreatic duct. Whenever the cyst get ruptured, it will give rise to pancreatic ascites. So these are all the complications of chronic pancreatitis. Okay. See, the splenic vein thrombosis causing sinistral or left-sided portal hypertension with splenomegaly and gastric varices. What is the varices? Any one of you know this word? Gastric varices? Yes? Yes? What is the meaning of varices? Yes?
Dilated veins.
Dilated veins, yes, but the walls, they get dilated. They get fibrosed, varices. They become very much delicate, that they break open in any time, at any time. Gastric varices. We call it as gastric varices. And it is a complication of, again, the cirrhosis of liver. Okay. So the patient mostly, one of the complication of this cirrhosis is there is hemorrhages from this varices, gastric varices, duodenal varices. They get bleed profoundly, and the patient dies with shock. Okay, or patient goes in the shock due to lot of hemorrhage. So delicate vein wall, we call it as gastric varices. Then pseudoaneurysm involving splenic artery. Pseudoaneurysm. All of you know what is aneurysm? Yes? What is aneurysm? Yes? What is aneurysm? Anyone? Please raise your hand and please take active participation in this lecture, as if you are sitting in the lecture hall. Yes?
Swelling of that wall of pancreatic artery.
Swelling of
What?
Swelling of the swelling on the arterial wall.
It
is not exactly swelling. It is, there are 3 layers of the wall, no? Tunica intima, tunica media, and adventitia. Okay. So here these 3 layers, they get separated because the fluid get accumulated in between. So there is dilatation in that particular part. We call it as aneurysm.
Aneurysm.
Understood?
Okay.
Pseudo here
Yes,
it
ma'am.
is pseudoaneurysm involving the splenic artery. Then atrophic changes of this parenchyma and the islets, it will give rise to diabetes. Okay. Then duct with multiple stone causing exocrine insufficiency. Exocrine insufficiency. And lastly, inflammation with biliary and duodenal stenosis and upstream dilatation. Okay. So this dilated, this biliary and duodenal stenosis will give rise to upstream dilatation. That is, the organs they supplies, there is also, they also get dilated. Okay, so this is all about of complications of chronic pancreatitis. Now, this is again one of the figure, that is initial attack of acute pancreatitis. There is the first, that is convalescence period, that is 3 to 6 months. There is impaired exocrine function. Late consequences, again these are the complications of acute pancreatitis, that is glucose intolerance, diabetes, cirrhosis, and development of chronic pancreatitis. Okay. So this recurrent attacks of acute pancreatitis will lead into chronic pancreatitis. Okay. So these are some of the complications of pancreatitis. Now we will discuss about the what we call it as the clinical features of acute pancreatitis. Do you know anyone? What are the clinical features of pancreatitis? Yes. Clinical features of pancreatitis. Yes. Clinical features. How the patient will present to you.
Pain in
Pancreatic
abdomen.
swollen, pancreas gets swollen.
Okay. Then
Ma'am, blue-black hemorrhage also can also seen on the patient body.
blue-black hemorrhage. Where? Where it will get presented? You can see on abdomen? No.
No.
No. So how the patient tells you, what are the symptoms of the patient? That is, patient presented to you or comes to you with acute abdominal pains.
Indigestion. Ma'am,
Not
indigestion.
indigestion, it is pains, abdominal pains, excruciating
Nausea.
pains. They are acute pains. Okay. Then there may be shock. The patient may present you with shock. Then acute
Diabetes
respiratory.
mellitus. Person
You-
is suffering from diabetes
Yes,
mellitus.
yes. 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 What are you saying? Diabetes?
Diabetes mellitus.
Diabetes mellitus. The patient will no. It happens only in the chronic pancreatitis. It is not the feature of acute pancreatitis. What are the clinical features? ARDS, acute respiratory distress syndrome, acute abdominal pain, agonizing pain, then shock because of these pains, acute renal failure, pancreatic abscess, duodenal
Diarrhea, weight
obstruction,
loss.
duodenal obstruction. Okay. So it will lead into this all features, acute pancreatitis. Here, the main important part is pain in the abdomen. Pain in the abdomen. It may be associated with nausea, vomiting. Okay, that is the features. Likely gastritis. You can misdiagnose that it can be gastritis. Okay. So how will you going to diagnose it by lab, in the lab diagnosis? There is leukocytosis. There is leukocytosis. Which type of leukocytosis? Polymorphonuclear leukocytosis or lymphocytosis. When the disease will become chronic, there will be lymphocytosis. Okay, so polymorphonuclear leukocytosis is there. There is WBCs, they are more. The number of WBCs, they extend severely. So what is the normal range of WBCs, my dear students? Yes. What is the normal range of WBC?
10,000.
10,000.
10,000.
10,000.
That is the maximum, no? What is the minimum?
5 to
5 to
10,000.
10,000.
4,000.
4 to 10,000. So this, in case of pancreatitis, it may get exceeds up to 15,000 WBCs count. Okay. And specifically, there is polymorphonuclear leukocytosis, that is neutrophilic leukocytosis, is seen in acute pancreatitis. If there is hemorrhage, the HB percentage is less. If there is hemorrhage, platelet count is also raised. Okay, so these are the features you can diagnose according to this particular disease. It is not present in gastritis. There will be no rise in WBCs in case of gastritis. Okay, now not much this WBCs. Okay, there may be raised WBCs. The count, it may be in between 4,000 to 10,000. Sometimes if the gastritis is due to some fever or inflammation or the drug induced, then it may appear up to 11,000, but not more than that. But in case of pancreatitis, it is profoundly raised WBC. Okay. Any queries related to today's topic? Acute pancreatitis.
Ma'am,
Yes, yes.
no. Ma'am,
Yes,
a
yes.
patient may suffer from complaints of indigestion because as there is obstruction in
Yes,
bile
yes.
duct.
But it is severe. The pain is more severe than gastritis. Okay.
Okay.
In gastritis, the patient may feels better after vomiting.
Okay.
There is headache or burning. Burning in acute pancreatitis is much more than gastritis. Pains, burning. The patient is always in shock in case of acute pancreatitis. Okay. So these features, they are more exaggerated than gastritis. So always it is misdiagnosed as gastritis, but it may be of acute pancreatitis. The fever is more in case of acute pancreatitis due to inflammation. Again, it is a differential feature with gastritis. In gastritis, there will be no fever, but here in acute pancreatitis, the patient comes to you with fever also. Fever with pains, there may be shock. See, these all complaints, these all symptoms, they are acute always. Okay, acute symptoms. And the patient always gives you history that alcoholism or drug induced or any viral infection, that is after measles and mumps, it is very, very common, acute pancreatitis. Okay. And always it is, whenever it is acute, it is reversible. Okay. Yes, any queries related to pathogenesis, related to clinical features? The next time we are going to discuss about disorders of gallbladder. Okay. That is cholelithiasis we are going to discuss, and cholecystitis. Cholelithiasis is gallstones and cholecystitis is inflammation of gallbladder. These two things we are going to discuss in our next session, next lecture. So tomorrow again there will be lecture. Okay, at the same time, in between 3 to 4 p.m. Now there are 4 lectures for you in a week for your batch. That is from Wednesday to Saturday. Okay.
Okay,
Okay,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Give me attendance.
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, screenshots, ma'am, please.
You want screenshots? Okay.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Any one of you give me your attendance. Okay, today's present day. I think there are 33 students present today. 32 students. This is about chronic pancreatitis. This is complication of acute and chronic pancreatitis. Okay, finished. Okay, then we will meet tomorrow, same time. There are
Okay, ma'am.
32 participants. Okay. So I'm going to end this meeting.
Okay, ma'am, bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Ma'am.